Hello and welcome to another episode of The Recap. So, what did we do this week? Well, first of all, our week game that was voted on has been Arcanum of Steamworks and Magica Obscura. After the initial troubles, getting the hang of the game, there's been a few people in the stream helping me out. Give me a bit of clues and tips on how to work around in the game. So it's started going pretty well, and I'm really liking the game. It's got that good sort of 90s RPG feel where you're, especially like your, what are they called, like rude, and if you want to be rude to someone or impolite, you got some really nice options on insulting people and stuff like that. Like the dialogue options are just really good. It's a very well written game. It doesn't hold your hand very much, so that's why it was a rough start. Basically, you can level up after you start the game. You can level up anything: attributes, technological skills, magical skills, all sorts of other skills. It's got a ton of skills, and it uses the same character points for upgrading everything and anything. So yeah, there's really a lot of room to make, screw up your character if you're not careful. But like I said, people have been helping me out, so it's been fine. And I've started making some actual progress in the game this time. But I think this week, the week was alright. Week's been going nicely. But the real interesting stuff happened during the weekend this time. And particularly on yesterday, Saturday, when I went into the darkest dungeon again. And like I said last week, I was starting to be at the end of my leash in terms of still finding enjoyment out of that game. It has been dragging out really for quite a long while. I only had like 4 runs in the actual darkest dungeon within the game. I prepared my guys as best as I could, both all the camping skills and everything. I made sure they were in tip-top shape. And I went in there, and my whole party wiped. But I got through it! That was the really nice thing about it. I mean, I got to the last boss with all my guys intact, and all my guys did end up dying in that fight, but not before I killed the boss. I killed the boss, and the guy who killed, I think the boss killed like 2 of my characters. But the guy who killed the last 2 of my characters was not the boss itself, because it had been dead. It was a guy behind him, who I had to leave the guy behind him alive, because otherwise he's gonna summon or spawn sort of a defensive wall in front of him, which is gonna really screw you over. That's what I learned for the first time going in there. So that killed it, and of course at first I was like, oh god, now I failed it. Then I looked at it like the little thing that it shows in the side, always like talking what... stating your progress, and it just said to you, a successful run into the darkest dungeon has de-stressed everyone. I was like, what? You actually counted it? I went to check like the caretaker goals, and it was like, yep, you killed the boss, that was your goal, so even if everybody died there, it counts as a victory. And then I was like, yes, I made this, and then I looked at this next one. It didn't even have like a boss. You had to light three torches or something, basically activate 3 items in there. And I was like, hey, this doesn't even have a boss. Like, I still got a few level 6 characters. I mean, I'm gonna burn through them, but I got more people down on coming up on the pipeline. So let's do this second one right after the first one. And I went in there, and one of my guys died in the second one during the second big fight. So I was like, I got 2 big guys. 2 beefy guys and a healer. I'm gonna see if I can push through it, because it doesn't have a boss at least at the end. I pushed on through, I got to the third one with all my guys like still intact, not even stressed out or anything. And I got through it, I got through the second one. And then the game crashed. Not even kidding, the game legitimately crashed on the victory screen. And the thing it does when it crashes is that it corrupts your save, and you lose all the progress for the day. Like, it does backup saves, so you don't lose everything, but you lose everything that has happened since you last started the game. Which was for me, to do darkest dungeon runs, so after that I just couldn't go back into it. On Sunday we started Dark Souls 2, because I'm not touching darkest dungeon for a while now. Yeah, well at least on Sunday I started Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, because I've only once played through the original Dark Souls 2. And I've never played through the DLC, so now I've been wanting to do like a new run with the DLC for a long time. And I'm finally getting to do that. And checking out the Scholar of the First Sin edition as well. There's a lot of nice little changes so far. Yeah, I'm going for a halberd build right now. I'm pretty sure they've changed the halberds a lot in that game, which is actually ends up being really good for me, because the first one I got had like, well, first of all, they're now dexterity based mostly, and second of all, I found like an old knight's halberd, basically like a huge polearm axe, like a double-edged axe, and it's somehow somehow it has dexterity scaling A and strength scaling C, so it's actually got really good scaling. They must have changed it or something, but it's quite a stroke of luck for me deciding to go halberd, go into a halberd build, and then noticing that in the new version they've just made halberds a lot better. But I'll take it. So yeah, that was a great stream today. I really enjoy getting back into Dark Souls 2. So that's all for this week. See you in the next one. Bye.